Hello, hello. Okay, so this video has been something I've been meaning to make for a little while. I've had to re-record audio, I've had to do whatever, I've come over and back and forth between doing it, and on top of it, right now, as I've decided to do another recording, there's somebody out cutting their lawn, so if you hear that in the background, alright, just bear with me. I promise. So it's a video I kind of wanted to post for myself, try and talk. I've not written down anything. This is just going to be me rambling. So if it comes across as a video of me rambling, I apologize. But I kind of want to talk about why I've not really been doing a lot with like YouTube and stuff. It's basically me covering and making excuses for myself for not actually getting on and sticking to the YouTube grind. Because I was having a lot of fun doing my favorite killer build idea and videos, and it was giving me a lot to do. But unfortunately, at the start of this year, my mental health went and did a nosedive on itself really, really badly. And I honestly, I've had this, like, it's just random gameplay in the background, so you're not even gonna have anything to like be paying attention to. If you look at the background, it's just random clips that I had on my PlayStation saved. That's literally all it is. But I kind of just wanted to get in and explain things and talk about things, because hopefully once this video is finally posted, I'm going to get back into the grind of what exactly is going to be happening, what I'm hopefully going to be doing. So we'll get to it all. So yes, I was doing a whole bunch of DVD videos. Not that they were doing massively great anyway. It was like more so for myself. But then, like I said, towards the beginning, after Christmas of last year, towards the beginning of this year, my mental health was in the bin. I was having a really hard time just being myself, which is really hard to talk about and not sound like cliche or cringy. Like even with stream, I took multiple breaks towards the beginning of this year where I just took like 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, and I just didn't bother doing anything content wise. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Christmas. Christmas every year seems to just be such a mental drain on me, and I don't know if anybody can relate to that. Maybe Christmas comes around and everybody's like, we're the same, but it's such a mental drain for me. And this year, it took me a whole lot longer than it usually would be to come back around and be like somewhat normal. Which unfortunately, a lot of people from stream plug. A lot of people kind of noticed that, and I can only thank anybody that was reaching out to me for like the first couple of months of the year and checking in on me. And even when I was streaming, I was coming across like I was in a different kind of headspace and all that kind of stuff. So massive thank you to anybody that's around. You lot know who you are. Anybody that does be about, I honestly appreciate you guys. This is I don't know. This is just I feel like nobody's gonna really care about this video because you're all gonna be like so supportive anyway and be like, oh my god, we were there, we were ready. But like, I don't know. A couple of years ago, I got into like a really bad depressive state, and I attempted my life. I did. I've had a lot of bouts with suicidal thoughts and suicidal attempts or ideas, or at least planning has passed. And this year especially, there was a long stretch of just time where I was not really excited to be doing anything. Like even with streams, and like I love streaming, I love my community, I love everybody I've met through streaming. But there was some days this year where like I'd sit and I'd stream. Everybody knew I can rage at games. That's the thing, but at least I can laugh it off like 10 minutes later. There was a lot of times where I was coming into streams and I was just pissed off. There was even a point where I had to take a big break from playing Dead by Daylight, because it wasn't even so that the game was annoying me. It's just I wasn't in the headspace to be playing it, and then I was taking it out on the game, and I was taking it out on people playing the game. And like, again, there's a difference between raging at a video game and taking out your actual problems on that said game. So I honestly think it was around the time I took that big DVD break, I was probably getting towards a bottom of the barrel kind of up top state. So yeah, that's kind of the basis of why I decided that I can't just like none of my content is top tier content. It's just me plugging out gameplay and shit that I've already been doing. But it was giving me something to enjoy working on outside of streams. Like I was getting up, I was doing a video, I was coming on to stream, I was getting up, I was doing TikTok, I was coming on stream. And when that all kind of went away and I pushed it away, I feel like I put myself into a little box of I was probably making things worse. Not that like I had a lot going on IRL that was making anything really really bad for me. Which is it's the usual thing that I always do. I always kind of like try and belittle everything. It's like, oh, I had no reason to be this upset. I had no reason to be going through this, but that's just unfortunately not how mental health works. You can have the absolute best time of your fucking life, and at the end of the day, you'll sit down by yourself and have picked it all apart. Which unfortunately, I've become very aware of when I do that. I'm saying a lot of ums and likes as well, so ums and like counts in the comments if anybody does check this video out, because I'm kind of just letting it go. This is probably the third or fourth time I've recorded the audio of this over the last couple of weeks. I've deleted so many videos, I've deleted so many audios, I've cut it all apart because like I want to post a video like this to kind of explain things and kind of just have an open discussion with people to come by with a video who are part of my community that are around me that I like. I could talk to any of them about this, but this is probably me dumping it out to be like, hey, this is why I've been like this for the last while. I just, yeah. It's difficult to like talk about without coming across like I'm, like, again, I'm belittling it, but it's hard to talk about where I don't come across like I'm begging for attention or for people to feel sorry for me, but I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just kind of, I've always, since I've streamed, I've always in my life, since I've dealt with it myself, I've always been very open about mental health, very open about talking about it, very open about everything gets easier a little bit once you've said it out loud or typed it or talked about it to people. Everything gets that little bit easier once you've actually spoken about it. And this, I think, is just a video form of me saying, hey, I want to get back to doing things again. I want to, and which I'll get into later on in this video. I want to talk about a massive thing that's helped me over the last couple of weeks. Like, I want to be able to talk about it. I want to be able to get back out and do stuff, but I want to also be able to say, hey, this is probably why it was like this for a while, and I hope you guys understand. You guys are able to talk to me about it. You're able to, like, most of you guys that have been around, if anybody new or anybody that's not usually around as much checks this video out, you're now can probably get an idea of what's been going on or learn something different about me. But for those of you that have been around, this is just me kind of rambling on about what's been going on properly over the last couple of months. Another thing I massively have been struggling with over the last while is imposter syndrome in my own community. There's a lot of times where I just feel like, hey, I don't really deserve this. I'm not a massive streamer, content creator. We've got our little niche community and whatever. But there's even times where I'm just like, I don't know why these people are about. I have no idea. Like, all I do is boot up a game, chat a bunch of shit, play the game probably really badly, start to rage very, very most often, and people still come back. So, I just want to say thank you to anybody that has been around for the last 3 years. We had our 3-year anniversary a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I do want to say thank you because there's a lot of times where I'll go missing or I won't say anything for a while. Then I have to do a big announcement in the Discord and be like, hey, this is what's happening. Sorry that I'm missing. And for the majority, most people have like stuck around and have checked up on me. Anybody that has left during those times, I don't really blame them. It's a lot to take in that somebody's like dealing with stuff like this and not being excited, happy content creators. So I don't blame anybody that just dipped out during one of my many times of going, hey, I need like 2 or 3 weeks of disappearing. Sorry about this. I'm hoping now for the rest of this year we won't have anything happen. like that again, and that that the year will be full of fun content and upcoming events and great shit. Which does bring me to my next point, which of course is the current content that's been going on at the moment. I've come back streaming a lot more regularly. I'm back into my routine a little bit. I now, as far as I know, if I schedule this video right, you lot in the comments, if you watch this far and don't click off and go, oh, suppy boy. I hopefully have a TikTok and a YouTube short gone out at the same time that this video is, or around the same time. I'm trying to get back into the grind of having something to post. I'm going to say it now, and you know what? I kind of hope if anybody's watching this far that you pressure me into sticking to this. I want to make 2 TikToks, 2 YouTube shorts, 2 YouTube videos a week from here on out. That's the plan. That's the idea. And I kind of want to be pressured into it. So if anybody's watching this video, right, and I start slacking on this, call me out on it, because I want to get into doing it and I want to get back into the grind of it because I enjoy it. It's honestly, again, my content isn't massively creative because I don't have the means to do it. I don't have a big PC to edit. If I had all the means to do it, I'd be messing around with a bunch of shit. Most people who have been about know that I like to mess around and try and do different things. If I had the means to do it, we'd have all these crazy stylish videos, but right now editing them down, voiceovering them, and making thumbnails, which as basic as my thumbnails can be, I like doing them. That's kind of what I want to be doing. On top of streaming, it gives me something to look at every day, it gives me something to be doing that's also content, getting us out there a little bit. And then I'm going to talk about the podcast. Most people that have been around in the streams are probably sick to death of us plugging the shit out of this podcast, but I kind of want to talk a little bit about the podcast. I want to talk about us doing it. Like, this video originally was recorded before we even did the podcast, so it's going to have missed all of this little section. But I want to say a massive thank you to the Spooky Means, Seb, and our other co-host, Stevel Knievel, or just Steve, as he prefers to be called by us. This is going to get deep, but honestly, I was looking like in myself to be doing something. I wanted to start doing a movie course in college, but I can't afford personally to buy myself the laptops and to get myself like funded into college this year. Unfortunately, I've had a couple of stuff I've had to replace, like furniture in my house. I've had to cover bills that were a little bit surprisingly high. So honestly, I've been looking for something to do in this kind of sense. I wanted to go into movie and film and TV studies, but obviously with the financial situation, I wasn't able to do it. I'm not able to do it this year. Maybe next year. I have been saying this for years, but mostly I was putting it off because of my mental state, or I was not feeling up for it. I was like, oh, I'm scared to do it. This year I was fully ready, but I don't think financially I'll be able to do it. Next year I'm going to have a whole plan made out and I want to get into it. But I want to thank Steve and Seb massively, because I was really starting to sink a bit again. There was a lot of stuff going on in my head where I was starting to crash out, and I was like, maybe it's time for this year, when I get to my birthday, to call it as my last year streaming and stop making content. And my birthday's in July, so we would have been coming up on it, and I would have been building up for a whole, like, this is going to be, let's do a birthday stream, and then maybe after 2 weeks when there's no streams, everybody's like, where are you? I'll be like, oh. So I probably wasn't going to come back, but out of nowhere, for me at least, I know Seb had been thinking about it for a while, and me personally, I've been thinking about maybe doing YouTube stuff for films, or maybe, like, I don't know, a bunch of different content. My TikTok has a couple of little random TikToks that are based around movies, which we'll do more of now that we're doing podcast stuff. I might start posting a few more, and I know the idea has been spit around, but we have to figure it out. There will probably be a We Know Kino podcast at some point. We just haven't figured out or talked about clipping things up or whatever, and how to make it or whatever, but that will probably happen down the line. But the two lads dropping the podcast on me, literally, it's given me something so fun to look forward to every week. Watching a movie that I know 2 other people are watching as well, and we're all going to be talking about it, and getting to the day where we record is super fun. getting to the day then when it's released, watching everybody's responses, like everybody's opinions, their thoughts, what they think about the movie, what they think about us, what they think about we could change. I spoke to the lads about it. The first episode, I was very, very anxious. To the point, I've said this, I was not able to go into anybody's chats or listen to reply. I was hiding the day our first episode dropped because I felt like I didn't fit in to the group. I felt like if Steve and Seb had done the podcast themselves, they'd probably have smashed it way better than my involvement had been in it. I think the second episode being my movie choice and the lads kind of letting me ramble as much as I did. And again, I'm so sorry that the episode was 4 hours and 22 minutes. But I think it kind of took me out of my bubble. It made me feel my part was also important as much as both of theirs. Both of them are way bigger content creators than me. They've got more followers. They've got more of a builder community, everything. So in my head, I felt like if the two of them had cut me out and they'd done it themselves, their communities coming together, the two of them they're very able, like they're very capable of talking about this kind of stuff and sound like they know what they're talking about. It was in my head for the entire first week. It's like I'm going to sound like an absolute moron. The two lads definitely vibed. But once we got into the second episode, it went straight out of my head. I was like, you know what? They've let me pick this movie. They've let me take reins of it. I got to talk an awful lot, and I'm sorry to everybody that probably thought I talked way too much. But honestly, the podcast has something to do every week with two people that I'm really, really close with now and really like friendly. Me and Seb have known each other for a long time. Me and Steve have known each other for a while, and we've gotten very like friendly and close lately, even before we did the podcast. It's done massively for just me personally. Like, it really has. It's done huge for me personally. It's given me something to look forward to every single week. I have to do homework on movies now, and I get to sit and I have to, like, actually, I don't just numb brain watch a movie if we're watching it now. I get to do something that I wish I could do more often, and it's put my entire brain on a movie, look into it, search it up, and then just chat about everything to do with it. I love movies, I love film, I love TV, I love just media in general, I love it. And it's just really nice. We have a little moment, I don't know if this will drop before or after our third episode of the podcast, which is on The Omen. Find the podcast links in the description for the Spotify and the YouTube, by the way, if you have not checked it out yet and you want to see it. But there's a little moment in that where we talk a little bit nicely at the end about all of you guys who've checked it out and just the podcast in general. But this is me just kind of on a deeper level being like, it gives me something to focus on every week that I wouldn't have had before. Like, I have my stream, I have my own little content that will be coming back, but I think a collaborative piece with the two lads gives me something to be excited about, something I get to share with two people that I really do like enjoy spending time with and enjoy talking to. And they're very, like, the both of them, everybody's very, very supportive about things as well. I've talked a lot, especially with the first episode, I talked a lot with Steve about what I was feeling and how I was feeling a little bit anxious about stuff, and literally they've fed my ego so much, like both of them, and they're both equally as excited about everything, and I'm excited for you lot to see the next episode, which is The Omen, which will either be dropping yesterday, in a couple of days, or today, whenever this video drops. It'll be this week, when around the same time as this, right? It's such a very fun, enjoyable episode. We have a lot of fun with it, and I hope you lot do too. But yeah, to get back into a little bit of the deeper conversation of it all, I don't know if I'd have kept going streaming, to be honest, or doing anything. I don't know. I think I'd have probably given up this year if I wasn't being shown so much support over the last couple of months since I've been back. I really, like, it took me until probably April, May to kind of lock my brain back in from the beginning of the year. It took me a while. And since I've come back, there's been nothing but absolute love and support. The podcast dropped onto my lap at the same time. So this is the part where I'm just going to say a massive thank you to you lot, because without you lot all being around, checking me, like checking what I'm doing, majorly just being very supportive. Like, if I come up with an idea Everybody kind of says their piece about it. They give me opinions. I love when people give me opinions on what I'm saying, even if it's shit. I mainly love if I come up with a shit idea and somebody says that shit. I love that. Because at least it stopped me from going in and committing to something that's fucking dumb. Um, I guess that kind of covers most of what I have to say. I just kind of felt like I needed to do like a bigger video explanation than leave it here on a channel instead of just kind of glazing over on streams or in a Discord where I'll probably just say half of what I wanted to. Next big event is my birthday stream, 30th of July. It's on a Tuesday, so we'll probably be streaming on the day or the day before. It'll be announced in Discords or on streams. Check us out. I kind of have cool ideas. I think there's a couple of things I wanted to do. I don't know if I should spoil the surprise. I think I won't be able to hold my shit. I wanted to do merch. I wanted to kind of do like a merch idea for my birthday, but as of right now, this is very complicated. So I'm sure I'll probably have said this on stream. I don't know if I'll have it figured out by July how to do merch because I don't really have a picture or an emblem or a whatever to make into merch. But it was kind of an idea that we maybe make like a little kind of small little merchy thing, even if it's just stickers. But I have to get onto some people about it and try and figure out stuff. I don't know if we'll get it this year. Maybe towards Christmas or maybe later date. We'll probably get something figured out. But I have some cool ideas I want to do this year. I know a lot of people want a camera stream as well, which I'm not entirely. It's something I'm in my head about again. I'm not entirely comfortable with it, but I think I've come around to maybe trying it. I don't have a great setup for it though, because every time I record, there's a window behind me, so I'm gonna look like I'm Jesus glowing in the light or something. But yeah, again, I guess this is just a massive thank you to everybody that's been around. A massive thank you to Seb and Steve, all of the three of our communities in general, because I've been so involved in all three, and I feel so welcome in both Steve and Seb's communities, and of course my own. Every one of you that have been about me for like any bit of time, if you've been around and you've stuck around, you've enjoyed being around. It's like, I don't say this lightly, but like, you are genuinely some of my best friends. Especially those of you that have been around for some time and you've been through many episodes of me crashing out, dealing with fucking toxic people and then fucking crashing out afterwards. Any of you lot, a massive thank you. The last 3 years of streaming has been really fun. It gives me something so fun to look forward to every single week. The fact that you lot stick around even if I'm playing stupid games, DBD, I am fucking crying over stupid games like Evil Dead or Texas Chainsaw or something, you lot have stuck around me for the entire thing, so yeah. I think I've kind of covered most of the ground. I could have gotten way deeper into stuff, but I didn't want to make this into a let's have a cry together session about stuff. My mental health is in a good place right now. I can't promise it will be that way forever, but everything that's kind of around me at the moment has been a lot better than it was at the beginning of the year. And let's just hope that we have some cool experiences for the rest of this year. Hopefully, I'll be back grinding out a little bit more content for us. I'd love some ideas as well. Some stuff you guys would like to see, some little like series for DVD content, for any game content in general. One other thing I do want to get to before I do end the video and let us all go is that I used to do this like monthly compilation idea that was never monthly because I'd always miss a month or whatever. I think I'm going to just drop random. I'm going to drop the monthly compilation part, and I think I'm just going to randomly drop just Twitch compilations at some point when I don't think I have the energy to do actual recorded videos. Because at the moment there's not an awful lot of clips that come through anyway. There's like a few, which anybody that clips stuff at my channel it's genuinely enjoyed once it's very good clips. I can't thank you all enough for feeding me content to use. I would love to get into maybe having somebody edit TikToks for me or YouTube or something, because my editing is terrible, and as I said, I don't have the means to do it. I have a laptop that if I turn it on, it would probably explode, so I don't have the means to work on edits that I think would be really cool. So maybe that's something that'll happen by the end of the year. Maybe we'll figure out somebody that's really cool at editing or wouldn't mind editing some stuff, and we might get some cooler looking content coming. But I think that's it. I think that's kind of covering everything. Anybody that comments on the video, anything at all, I'll probably chat to you lot in comments, or if you DM me anything after this, I'd appreciate it. This year, I've said it when it comes to the podcast, especially, and I mean it in just a general sense. This year, I'm really taking in everything that's everybody's saying to me. Like, I'm taking in a lot of opinions this year. I think personally, I've taken a lot of growth from being told stuff by all of you lot. Again, especially with content for the podcast and stuff, we've been getting a lot of opinions and stuff, and I have been. So I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate you all. Hopefully, we'll have a lot of fun for the rest of this year and further on and further so. I have a lot of goals I want to hit, mainly the 777 followers on Twitch. The content on the podcast is flying it. We're so happy with it, and that's all thanks to you guys as well. And that's it. I think I'm going to say good luck, goodbye. I appreciate if you've made it this far to listen to me just rambling as a video I just kind of wanted to put out. And yeah, no, honestly, thank you. That's it. Check you out. Maybe before this week is over, we'll have an actual video come out that's DVD related. Maybe. I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm gonna keep saying random stuff and just keeping extending it. So thank you guys for checking it out. Thank you for listening to me ramble for a minute, and any conversation that comes out with this video, I'm gonna be much appreciated of it, because it's taken me a little bit of a push to push this out, to be honest. Like I said, 3 or 4 times I recorded this, so I did different audios and such. So yeah, thank you for checking it out. I'll chat to you guys after. Peace.